Hey there you guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do an orchid video. I'm so excited because some of these orchids have started to produce buds. It's been a long time since I've seen buds on my orchids, and it's been a time. I don't have very many orchids left. The pests have really taken them out, and also my poor watering techniques. But since I've gotten the grow tents, and I've been using the Mars Hydro lights, I'm using the SP150 as well as the right now in the grow tent, the SP150 as well as the TS1000. So those are doing fantastic. This particular one was growing outside all summer long, but it did get primed in the grow tent with the higher humidity, the higher light, and it really enjoyed it. And also in the grow tents, I'm able to splash around, and I use a misting attachment for my hose, and I just spray the crap out of everything. So the aerial roots, when they're out in the main grow area, I don't spray like that because I don't want water everywhere. But in the grow tent, it's a free-for-all. So the aerial roots are loving it. So I just brought these guys in today. They've been outside, like I said. It's getting cool outside, so I thought I'd bring them in. Also, it's better for the flowers not to be outside because if we get a rain, you get spotting. Also, the sun can bleach them out. It's a whole thing. So I don't have them under shade cloth. So this particular one is one that blooms for me no matter what. This needs to be repotted. Look at it's sending out a baby out the side of the pot. I'll have to rip this pot to heck just to get this thing out. But it's also broken the pot. So it's been in this pot for, I don't know, I'm gonna say 5 years, maybe less, maybe 4. It's been in for way too long, nonetheless. So this one here is a BLC Luciento d'Oro Bouillon. Yeah, so it's a BLC. I can't remember what all these names mean. Something Leliocattleya, Brassia. Anyway, go look it up. So this one has beautiful flowers that come out yellow, and then as they age, they go to a beautiful orange. And I have 3 spikes here. I have this one here. I have these buds that are just starting to get ready to open as well. And I noticed around here that I also have another set of buds starting out. So this plant is super happy. Again, I'm going to repot it very soon. I'll probably wait until after the flowers are done, and then I'll repot it. If you guys want to see a repotting video, let me know and we'll get into this. I don't know. I might divide this, but the plant is so beautiful as it gets bigger. I kind of just want to leave it as one big massive plant. It just gives that show when it decides to bloom. So I don't know. I do have bigger orchid pots. So there's that one. That one is always a tried and true one for me. So that one's really not an accomplishment. This one here, I don't know that this has ever bloomed for me. It looks terrible because it got neglected for many years. This plant I've had for at least 5 years, I think, and I don't think it's ever bloomed, and it's just always looked terrible. But now, because of the grow tent and being outside for the summer, well, actually this one has been in the grow tent the whole time. That's where I pulled it out of. And the new leaves are looking much nicer, the new growth, and I got a bloom. What is this one called? This one is a POT Burana Angel. It's this one. Hopefully that's going to come in. So yeah, I need to give this one a new pot as well. The pot is broken, and there's really no media in there. It's just a bunch of roots. So as you can see, this is a really pretty bloom. I'm sure with a little bit better care, as I'm starting to give them, the bloom might open up a little bit more. It looks a little bit scrunched up at the moment, but I'm calling it a win. Because I don't know that this has ever bloomed for me before. It might have bloomed once 4 or 5 years ago, but it hasn't bloomed since. So that's a win. Another one, this is another one that I've had for many years, and it bloomed, well, when I first got it, it was in bloom. And this is an Alicera, what is this one? It's in the Oncidium group, the intergenerics, Halo Ablaze. Alicera Halo Ablaze. But it doesn't look so great. But it used to have a big infestation of scale, so I've since pretty well gotten rid of all of the scale, and finally I'm starting to get new pseudo bulbs that are looking not so bad. But yeah, it's never bloomed. And now I've got a little spike starting to develop. I'll have to let you know when these spikes start to come in. I don't know whether you're able to see it, but right here is the little spike. So I'm super excited about that. This has such a beautiful bloom. I wish I had one to show you. It's a larger Oncidium type bloom. And then another one that's super exciting to me. It's just a bud. I'm sorry, I wish I had more. But this one here has been the parent plant. This is Phalaenopsis pallens. So it's a species Phalaenopsis, and I believe that it's a sequential bloomer, I believe. So once it starts to bloom, it's going to keep going. And I believe that this one might be a summer bloomer, because since it's been so much hotter in the grow tent, this has not left the grow tent. And more humid in the grow tent. It's really started to come into its own, and I also took all the babies off. So once I took all the cakeys off, it started to produce another spike. So it really wants to do something. Do you see that right there? There is the little bud, and I can't wait for it to open. It'll probably be another, it could be a month for all I know. But it's on its way. I'll show you photos on Instagram. Maybe I'll put them on Facebook. But I'll try to do something. Maybe if they all bloom at the same time, I'll do another update video with all of the blooms. So we'll see what happens. So super excited about that one. Again, I've had this one, I'm gonna say at least 3 years. I bought this at I think the Orchid show in Toronto. It could have been Cambridge as well. So I'm not 100% sure, but it was the Pallens. It was a cheap one. I think it was like $12 or $15, but it had a little cakey growing on it. So, and then this one, you saw this one at the beginning of the season because it had a bloom. The spike developed. This is the Brassia. Oh my gosh, what is it? Brassia thrisodes? This is what it is. Is it gonna come in? So this one has been doing really well recently, and I don't know. I went years without having any blooms, and then all of a sudden it's just kicked into high gear. And like I said, in the springtime it put out this spike, and now it's got 2 more spikes. I've got a spike right here developing, as you can see. I don't want to pull it too far because I don't want it to break. And I've got a nice big spike over here. So I'm very happy about this. It's been a long time coming. Again, this one has to be repotted. It's a theme, but I think that's a good problem to have to repot all of my orchids, because it's been way too long that they've been really on a downward spiral. The mealybugs have been awful for me. I've kind of gotten those under control, fingers crossed. They're not eradicated, but they're few and far between, and hopefully I can keep it like that with wiping things down and spraying things appropriately. So yeah, fingers crossed. And I think that's it. That's it for my orchids. I'll let you know when anything else happens. Again, let me know if you want to see any repotting of these. I don't mind doing it. It's been a long time since I've done an orchid repot video. I'm a little rusty, out of practice, but it might be fun. So anyway, show me what you're growing. Maybe you have some crazy orchids that are starting to bloom now. Usually it's a springtime that a lot of them are in bloom, but I guess some of them are fall bloomers as well. So anyway, I'd love to see your success stories. Post them to the Plants and Things What's Growing page, or share them with me on Instagram @PlantsandThings. Anyway, until next time, you guys, happy growing.